Alrighty, folks. This is the Doug Rice Show. I hope you can hear me. Can you? Hopefully, I don't see my thing moving. Let me see. All right, so I'm hoping you can hear me. I really am. Let me make sure that I am not. Look at that fucking nonsense. All right, folks. Thank you so much for being here. This is Doug Rice. I'm doing it again. I am doing a reboot. Let me make sure you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me get a thumbs up if you can hear me, please. I am literally looking for that. Am I being heard? Let's try that. I know there are a few people here. Make sure you can hear me. Thank you so much. All right, cool. Thank you for tuning back in. You know, I know you've had enough of looking at me, so I decided to just do it like this. And the reason for that is because I missed Negro news, and more importantly, I missed what I was offering by way of PDF compensation via donation. So I'm going to cover those two things on this particular live. I appreciate you all being here. If you caught the first show today, then you probably already know the 7 topics that I've already done. That's fine. We can and will move on. This will be about the Negro news we missed. But before I do that, I'm going to insist that you at least take a look at the PDFs that I am offering. I think that you guys will really appreciate them. So let me first figure out why it closed in the first place, which is really cool. All right, so thank you again for showing up. Here are a listing of the PDFs that I'm offering, okay? I want to show you what I have by way of you being able to stop it and maybe look at it. I'm also going to show you the listing of donation compensations. We're not really talking about prices. And so as you can see, if you freeze and hold on to this, you guys can certainly pause. See, we've got a pretty good collection here. You're going to get anywhere from 1 to all the way up to 60 PDFs for a staggered amount. Let me make sure I go back that you see all of them. There are quite a few, some of them regarding language and teaching Hebrew language, others regarding the history of Hebrews, and even still some in Hebrew. I wanted to point that out. And so we got a good collection here. That's not all of them because I didn't want to really show every last one that I got, because then that might be giving away the whole store. So I do appreciate you being here, being a part of this again for the second time today. And for God's sake, I did not intend to do a second show. I don't intend to overexpose or oversaturate myself. But while I'm at it, I'm also going to show you the list for the PDF donation so that you have that as well. And I appreciate your patience. Again, this is just a makeup show to kind of let everybody know what I am offering to support this effort. And here we go. All right, so these are what I've determined as the donation rare to find calculation, PDF donation rare to find calculation. All right, so you can freeze on this, share it, do all the things that you might want to do. But for one PDF, it's $1 each. And if you want more, of course, the cost per PDF should go up. These are some very, 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 very rare and valuable stuff. And of course, we're going to, interchange and rearrange and make sure that they're not all the same at all times. If you can if you can understand that. So anywhere from 1 to 60 PDFs, that's the most. 60 PDFs is $200. I'll shave off the dollars if you just make it make sense. So if you give me $200, I'll give you 60 PDFs. They're very, very good PDFs. You don't have to go searching for them. You give me $160, I'll give you 50. 120 gets 40. 95 gets 35. 60 gets 30. 55 gets 25. 40 gets 20. 25 gets 15. 15 gets 10. 5, I'll do 6 gets 5, and 4 gets 1 per piece. You get 4 PDFs, and that's, I think, fair. And again, this is not the entire listing of PDFs, but I've got some where the book is worth, thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, and you don't have to search. And I was inclined to create a kind of, if you don't like it, we'll give you your money back, but we're not going to do that. I have faith that your donation might, help, support this effort. I'm a writer. I am a speaker. I tend to write Negro prose. People seem to enjoy what I do, and I'd like to do it full time. The only way I can do it full time is to not just trust you'll give on the basis of what I say or what I write. I am not preaching at you. I am not a minister. And so I don't quote scripture typically. And so why would you support the Doug Rice Show other than to know I am leading with the kingdom, and I'm hoping that all of you do the same. Also, as long as I've got everybody's attention, I do appreciate you being here. I also own a business, and I'll share that with you as well. I do web development. I do, lead generation. This is my company, First Contact, no vowels, firstcontact.com. So I do lead generation. I do these reputation management, search engine optimization, social media marketing, things like that. So this is what I do after I'm done doing my show. And I have a program that helps protect your web presence or your online identity, not like anything you may have heard in the past, not like the typical identity protection, but a more of a confirmation protection of your identity so that people cannot AI you into existence and perhaps say something that you did not say. So this is what I do with my day. And I thought I'd share that with you, fellows, because I don't look at this as a typical show that has the atypical donation platforms. I mean, I do, and I will share those with you. These are my donation platforms. I'm going to do this show on a daily basis. And instead of combining this segment, or rather, instead of dividing this segment away from our original format, this show specifically, Negro News and PDF donation information, was done simply because I had technical difficulties in today's 10 o'clock live. So there's my explanation. I hope everybody enjoys it. Those are the cash donation, the support portals, Patreon, Fundly. Hopefully they're still on, but the one that you can cash app to is $ The Doug Rice Show. And if you do appreciate what we do, whatever you send, I will send whatever corresponding PDFs that might apply. All right. Okay. That's what I wanted to say there. Now, as I drink a little bit of water, and again, I'm not sharing my camera because you've already seen me today. You'll see me tomorrow at 10. This is about Negro news, and that we cannot skip on the Negro news. So let's get into it. Let's begin. All right, so here's first. Mississippi judge declares mistrial for 2 white men charged in attack on black FedEx worker. The Mississippi judge has cited 2 police errors in declaring a mistrial for 2 white men accused of chasing and shooting at a black FedEx employee who is making the erroneous, near lethal choice of making a delivery in the presence of these wildly dangerous and violently sadistic white males that pepper the landscape of this country. And look at this, citing errors by police, a Mississippi judge declaring a mistrial Thursday in the case of two white men accused of chasing and shooting a black FedEx driver who was making delivery. Brandon Case and his father, Gregory Case, are charged with attempted first-degree murder, conspiracy, and shooting into the vehicle driven by DeMontario Gibson in January 2022. Gibson, now 25, was not injured. Chase and gunfire led to complaints on social media of racism in Brookhaven, about an hour's drive south of the state capital, Jackson. That's right. Jackson, where? Mississippi. That's fucking where. Mississippi. That's where we go to get, to get it known that we are in fact a Negro. They'll let you know in Jackson that you are black. Okay? They do not have a problem telling you that. And I'd be remiss if I didn't at least talk about what we go through. How, if a pair of Negroes decided to chase a white man delivering in the hood, can you imagine what would happen? It would be no good. That's what would happen. And there certainly wouldn't be a police error. Now, listen, folks, let's not fool ourselves into thinking that a goddamn police error was not intentional in its placement to assist these two rancid-ass, rabid white males in clearing themselves of this kind of conduct. Of course, that's what happened. It was placed perfectly and intentionally, and anyone that tells me differently can go to hell. How are you going to have police errors in such a major event? Whose error was it? And might I add, what color were the police officers that infused this fucking error that now has two white males who should rightfully be their white asses in jail? Yes, I'm saying it. That's right. Disclaim all day, because it's about to go that way. What? I mean, seriously, really? So these two get a pass, really, for shooting at a Negro doing his job. Something we know Negroes would not get if the roles were reversed. Damn. Okay. Well, that's a good start to my goddamn day. I don't know about you. Let's see what else I can say. Next. Yeah, I'm a little bit up in arms about this shit. I really am. You don't get to shoot at us because we're delivering your goddamned packages. You don't see Negroes on site and determine that you're going to end their Negro lives because they're in your goddamned vicinity. How many of you are still wearing that goddamn grin? Let me see. This is what I do this for. So you can read the proof needed to pull that grin off your Negro face. To make that grin erase from your face. I'm not kidding, man. This is, anyway. All right. Okay. So, of course, we're going to keep talking about this. Given Montgomery's history, it was no surprise black people rushed to defend the dock worker, locals say. Really? You don't damn say. Look at the photos, folks. Look at them. Now, I need you to understand this melee and what happened, okay? They thought that they had a win. They thought that no other Negroes would jump in. They certainly didn't think a Negro would swim. And I need to tell you, man, the brother there in that last photo in the blue, he was trying to be a peacemaker. And look what happened to him. Drunken whiteness at large. Because they feel they are always in goddamned charge. Oh yeah, let me do the news like this. Oh yeah, let me do this. I can't miss. Yeah, so they had him down. You see the last photo, they had him down. You know, that brother took a beating from these folks, man. That brother took a real beating and got one administered in kind, as well they should have. So there were no visible traces of the violent melee that just days before had turned the nation's eye on this city, long enshrined in civil rights lore. But what remained was the poignant image of a black dock worker being attacked by a group of white men, and the group of black men who rushed to his defense. Black residents of Alabama's capital said they were not surprised that the worker, Damian Pickett, say his name, was attacked by at least 4 white men, 3 of whom were charged Tuesday with third-degree assault. They were also anticipating the support of Pickett received from black people who came to his aid, including one young man who plunged into the river from the boat and swam to the dock in his defense. You goddamned right. You ask a black person in Montgomery if they are surprised by what happened to that black man who was just doing his job, and they will tell you straight up, no, not surprised. It would have been a surprise had no one helped him. Dear God, let me tell you something. Let me ask you, what do you think would have happened had it have been a boat full of white people just off the dock? What do you think would have happened to that brother? Yeah, I'm going to ask you. I'm going to put it out there. I want to know. Because you're listening to the Doug Rice Show. When I'm off camera, I'm a little bit more loose. So you guys might have to rein me in, you know, depending on how far I go. I need to know what you think would happen to a brother if a boat full of enraged white people had been on that ferry, as opposed to who was on that ferry. And I will tell you what would have happened. Nothing good. Nothing good would have happened. They would have killed him. More likely, they would have satiated every desire these beings have in satiating the murderous intent they have toward Negroes, and for some reason, specifically Negroes. It's an inherent hatred that they have toward us, just waiting to be released at the slightest wind of a perceived slight. And I swear to God that if that Negro had been on his own, that's perhaps a murder that you would have never known. Next, I mean, what? This is what you get. This is the Doug Rice Show. Thank you for showing back up, folks. Yeah, Negro News, PDF information. I'm trying to provide it to the Negro Nation, and I somehow had a technical issue in my first live, so I decided to come back and see if I could revive the Negro News and that PDF information. And here we go. Let's see what we got. You know, I'm getting sick of this. Listen, Miss Harris, can somebody tell Miss Harris that she does not speak for Negroes? Now, I don't know what needs to be said. I don't know what needs to be said. Listen, Miss Harris, you are not a Negro. You have never been a Negro. You will never be a Negro. Stop fronting. You put more Negro men in jail for marijuana. You laughed. You took pride in what you've done. I'm not apt to listen to you run your mouth about Negro circumstances. I think I'd rather take my chances. Harris blasts Florida's history standards, claimed slavery included benefit. I don't care what you have to say about us, Miss Harris. I don't. I remember. I don't know if you folks remember, but Miss Harris was asked pointedly if she in obtaining the vice president position would have anything to do for Negroes. Let me tell you what she said with a goddamned grin on her face. She said, it's not like I'm going to do anything specifically for Negroes. Please. And now, because Ron DeSantis has offered up his fascist view of how he feels Negroes must feel about themselves, here comes this woman who's put more Negroes in cells than the law should allow, and she gets to speak for Negroes somehow. Well, not now, not then, and not never. Harris shouldn't open up her mouth regarding our circumstances. And I'm a little bit put off by her being the governmental face of our goddamned defense in this issue. I don't need her defending me. She was raised as an Indian, from India, or Hindu, or whatever, and they have a caste system, and she just barely makes the mark of being light enough. So, no, I'm not interested in her goddamn opinion on our plight. Keep your mouth shut. Mind your business. Yep, that's what I got for all of them. Next! So I wanted not to escape your notice as well, folks. I did want to put this out there, if I can get it there. The judge declared that mistrial. The judge declared that mistrial. The judge. Two white men, the judge declared, you shoot at people, two people shoot at a guy doing his job, shoot at him under any other circumstances. If you shoot at somebody, it's attempted murder. But because of police somehow mishandling of evidence, procedural, the judge, no doubt the white judge, has declared a mistrial, so that the two white men who decided to shoot at a Negro because he was a black person in their neighborhood might get off. Does it happen to us? Does that kind of fortune happen to Negroes when they shoot at someone? No. Next, I'm gonna leave it alone. So, yeah, I'm not smiling today. I hope Negroes do not walk about this country with a smile on their face. I hope not, because today is not the goddamn day. That's why. And as the days progress, those days will lessen and lessen and lessen. You better hear what I'm trying to address. And you hear it. If you don't believe it, here, take a look at this. China is urged to tackle online racism targeting black people. What the hell did we do to the Chinese? China urged to tackle online racism targeting. Human Rights Watch says racist tropes, memes, funny jokes, common across Chinese social media, and that platforms and government must act. They're not going to do a goddamned thing to help me and to help you about their racist inkling. I mean, what are we talking about? Human Rights Watch has found racist content targeting black people is becoming increasingly prevalent on China's social media platforms, where it is being used to attract traffic and generate profit. Can you believe? So they're making fun of us, and they're making money while they do so. Boy, the rights group reviewed hundreds of videos and posts from 2021 on platforms including Weibo, a short messaging app, and Douyin, the Chinese TikTok, and said it found that content often portrayed black people through offensive racial stereotypes. Sounds like jealousy to me. You know, they hate us because they ain't us. There are not enough black people in China for them to give a fuck about black people in China. Do you hear me, black people? Why the racism in China? You can't segregate us. Ain't enough of us. You get about a block. But you consciously hate Negroes. You got us on your goddamned minds. I'm not puzzled at it because they're obsessed with us now. We're not in China and we're being portrayed offensively by these Moabites. I mean, what's on their mind? Nobody's really talking. What's on their goddamn mind? And they hate us. They hate Negroes for no cause. And they wonder why judgment is coming upon them. Next, this is all about wiping that goddamn grin off your Negro face. If you don't have enough evidence needed to walk about this country as a serious Negro, I do not know what to tell you. I mean, the shit's getting serious, folks. Serious! Let's look. Lynchburg set to unveil a statue of the first black mayor. Well, I could give a damn about that in a city called Lynchburg. Is it a joke? Is it for real? I don't know. How do you feel? Is that him? Is that him? No. A life-size bronze statue of Lynchburg Mayor M.W. Tweedy will be unveiled. Really? I don't give a two goddams about the first black mayor in any city in America. The reason I don't care is because they don't care. See, he got a news note when he became mayor. He got a news note when he died, and now he just got an extra one just because they want to build a statue. And for what? Why? Lynchburg's first black mayor, M.W. Tweedy Thornhill Jr., will be honored with a life-size bronze statue in the center of the roundabout on 5th Street that's set to be unveiled Saturday. Well, man, if I could give a damn less, I would. Thornhill was chosen for the statue because of his work in helping revolutionize the Lynchburg political scene and his dedication to 5th Street's historic presence, it said Ted Delaney, director of the Lynchburg Museum. Every time they let that goddamn word come out of their mouth, Lynchburg, and then they couple that with somehow honoring its first black mayor. I think the honor was that you didn't fucking lynch him. And there it is right there. Next. Well, hey, you tuned in. All right, so this hit me a little bit by surprise. I'm a little bit shocked. Travis King crossed into North Korea to flee racial discrimination in the United States Army, state media claims. So I need to understand this. The brother ran to the damn near whitest place on earth to get away from racial tension. I just don't understand. Now, how do you think he came to the conclusion? He came under some delusion. Was it an obvious collusion? Because I think what he did was he got to look at the basketball star, Dennis Rodman, and he probably thinks that, because the great leader likes Dennis Rodman. Well, they love black people in North Korea. Well, he is in for a rude awakening. If he's not awake already, let me tell you, folks. Let's talk about it. Let's see what he's talking about. Is it even a story? Let's see. The black American soldier being detained by North Korea after illegally crossing into the rogue nation last month did so because of the inhumane and racist treatment in the United States military, according to a new report issued by the Korea State Media. The latest development surrounded Travis King was the first time North Korea officially acknowledged this 20 goddamn three. This is how old this nut moron idiot is. Take a look at him, folks. Take it all in. There he is. There he is. All Negro. Now, he thought that there was racial demonstration in the army. He thought, but he has not been called the N-word like he is being called the N-word in North Korea. Let me tell you right now. Nearly a month ago, King ran while laughing across the military demarcation line separating South Korea from North Korea, while U.S. officials immediately attempted to contact North Korea following King's apparent defection. Tuesday was the first time the isolated country confirmed the soldier's presence. He's not even alive. I'm going to say that. I think the dude's probably already gone. I mean, and the first thing somebody said to him, probably in perfect English, is, "What were you thinking, Negro?" All right, we'll move on. Next. Hey, smile. I mean, look what they're doing to us in the army. They're causing our young Negro soldiers to run to North fucking Korea. That's right. Keep grinning. Keep grinning. This caught me by surprise. I've got two on this. This one is Arkansas Department of Education polls, but over here it says Huckabee Sanders pushes back on criticism after she removes. So let's get the disingenuous nature of this whole article here. The Arkansas Department of Education did not do this. This hideous chick did it. And that's right, I called her what Donald Trump called her every day she was press secretary. Hideous. What? It's the Doug Rice Show. You say make you feel good. So what are we doing here? So it's Florida. What is it with the African American studies? What is it? I mean, Frederick Douglass. They don't want you to learn about Frederick Douglass. They don't want you to learn about Harriet Tubman, right? I mean, they don't want you to know about W.E.B. Du Bois. They don't want you to know about all of these Negroes who somehow survived and thrived at the threat of their very lives being taken by these faking and aching. I'm done. Listen, African American Studies course, done. Okay? Pulled approval for AP African American Studies from high school curriculums due to a new law that bans the teaching of certain topics. Riley Gaston is a senior at Little Rock Senior High School and is enrolled in the AP African American Studies coming up this year. I wanted to take this class because a lot of information about history. History that they don't want you to know about, Gaston. History involving the very people that are still alive today that didn't want black children going to schools with them. History of white males kidnapping black men, castrating them, and burning them alive. History of picnics where they would choose an unfortunate Negro to hang as they prepared for themselves some lunchable dinner. Are you serious? This is what you don't want to know. This is what you don't want to learn. Well, it's getting worse, folks. It's getting worse. And, I don't know. What is it about the history that they want to forget? It's got to be history they want to repeat. Next. All right, police, apologize. Okay, apologize. Did you apologize after you handcuffed a black teen who had an unfortunate case of being in the wrong black time at the wrong black place? What do you mean? What do you mean unfortunate? What do you mean wrong place? No, what happened was you came in sight of two white police officers. Wrong place, wrong time. Two racist, prejudgmental, more likely Nazi-ass, just abhorrently vile slave catchers who, true to form, saw a young black man taking out the goddamned garbage and cuffed him. I wish I'd see a Negro smile today. This is what they do to our children. Now listen, folks, they don't do this shit to their own kids. These two non-discriminate pieces of feckless trash with badges would see a white child taking out the garbage and wouldn't jump at the opportunity of putting him in cuffs. So fuck your apology. We've had enough. Police in Lansing, Michigan have issued an apology. No check, we'll get one. After a black teen was put in handcuffs by a white police officer in an unfortunate case of wrong place, wrong time. The police department made several statements on Friday after videos circulating on social media showed the incident. The Lansing Police Department said first that it was an unfortunate misunderstanding. You get your fucking, protect your children. Protect your children, man. So in their mind, they've had thefts occurring in that neighborhood, and a black face produced itself at the wrong goddamn time. That's what happened. It's not sugarcoat shit. Still grinning? Because I got more. I have been talking about this for a minute, folks. I've been telling you alleged threat against Chutkin is reflective of GOP's war against black legal minds. The devil's a goddamn lie. They're at war with blacks. They are at war with Negroes. And this threat, this woman, let me tell you what this white woman did. She threatened this judge, some real good, colorful language, as they tend to do, these low-brow, hillbilly motherfuckers. She said, hey, I would never travel to D.C. or wherever the fuck this is being held. I'd never go there. But you know what put her in cuffs? She said, but God help her if she ever comes here. I need you to understand the white privilege in letting that utterance come out of her rancid ass fucking mouth. Man, let me tell you, she just knew she could say that. And you need to understand where we are, Negroes, and that these creatures are getting bolder as they get older. But this one ran her goddamned mouth, and thank God they took her and folded her right in the damn prison. And you know what? That's 4 times. 4 times that she has threatened people and not gone to jail. Now she threatens a fucking judge. Well, she goes without fail. Isn't that interesting? And they all have this in them, folks. I kid you not. All of them have this rancid, racist rot deep within them. Former President Barack Obama, former U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder, Loretta Lynch, Vice President Harris, Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Braxton Brown, New York Attorney General Letitia James, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis, U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkin, all black judicially empowered Negroes. And let me just tell you, folks, they are going to be the feather on top of the pile that just pushes this over by a mile. Because those faces, those black faces in those judicial places, these folks just don't believe they belong in white spaces. The news of a Texas woman who has been arrested after allegedly making a racist threat toward Judge Chutkin, who's overseeing the former president federal election interference case, was unsurprising to me, albeit noteworthy. I don't want to read this, but I will. Hey, you stupid slave. This is what this woman let come out of her mind. Shry said before she referred to Chutkin using the N-word. You are in our sights and we want to kill you. If Trump doesn't get elected in 2024, we are coming to kill you, so tread lightly, bitch. That's what she said. You will be targeted personally, publicly, your family, all of it. I need you to understand the view inside of white terror. And you need to understand this is a woman. This is a fucking female. I need you to wrap your goddamned mind around the fact that this chick may have procreated and may have a son walking around some goddamned where. Free. If she doesn't have that, she has fucking family. All descending from a confederacy that should have been put down. But no, they were allowed to go home, procreate, and make a bunch of goddamn fools. And here we are. That's what we're facing. That is what we are facing. All right, so, yeah, I'm going to keep going. Fuck it. Tasers, taunts, torment. How 6 white officers subjected 2 black men to hours of grueling violence, and then they tried to cover it up. I think I mentioned this. On the evening of January 24th, 3 sheriff's deputies in Rankin County, Mississippi, received a group text message from another deputy on the same shift. Are y'all available for a mission? Let me stop there. What that tells you is this is not the first time they've done this. And it's not, because they covered up another assault in 2021. This is what I read. These people that walk around us, amongst us, pretending to be civil, pretending to have morals and scruples, they are nothing more than vile representations of every one of their descendants. These people, these folks, any individual that can do what was done to this man on the basis solely of him being a Negro, that's a sickened mind. And I don't believe there's recovery for that. The only course for these individuals and those like them is destruction. Their end is the only way out for us. The deputy, Christian Dedman, informed his colleagues Hunter Edward, Jeffrey Middleton, and Daniel Opdyke they were going to a property in Braxton, roughly 30 miles south of Jackson, to handle a complaint received by the office's chief investigator, Brent McAlphin. The details shared in a federal charging document. McAlphin's white neighbor, a white neighbor, that's the power of being white and conscious of your whiteness in this country. White neighbor told him several black men were staying at a white woman's home, and it's just a suspicious behavior. So Dedman warned the deputies there might be surveillance cameras on the property. They spotted any cameras. The officers should knock on the door instead of kicking it down. But if not, he told them they had free reign to barge in without a warrant. This is being who we are in this country. This is it. You want to know why Negroes are oftentimes in a rage in this country? Because of this fucking bullshit here. And I'm not giving a damn about the white people who claim we don't do this. You can't put all white people. Look, the devil's a goddamn lie, first. And second, pay attention to the folks we're talking about. Go commiserate and tell them how racist they are, like you tell Negroes that look to these abhorrent pieces of human filth, that have the nerve to congregate together collectively on the sole purpose of bringing a brother horror, unsuspecting, and they walk amongst us. These vile creatures walk amongst us, and they wear masks that hide what they are deep inside. Yeah, this pisses me off. All right, I'm going to leave that one alone because I can see it's getting me there. All right, but of course we followed up with this. The media's strange treatment of missing black women. You know, they don't talk about they're taking our women. They don't talk about 100,000 black women going missing in a goddamn year. if they were Italians, if they were French, if they were German, if they were Polish, if 100,000 fucking Hungarian women went missing in a single year in this country, the whole fucking world would stop. But look how the media treats our women. In July, the nation was gripped by a strange case of Carly Russell, 21-year-old Alabama woman who falsely claimed to have been abducted and held captive for more than 48 hours. And that damage of falsely reporting crime, especially crimes against women, is obviously a stain on her reputation. But moreover, it undermines the efforts and the urgency to investigate reports of thousands of missing women across the nation. Surprisingly, the Russell case received national attention from media sources who have historically provided lackluster coverage, if at all, of the litany of Black women and women of color who have been lost to their families for years. Abductions and disappearances of Black women get less than a quarter of the coverage. And according to the National Crime Information, despite making up only 7% of the US population, 18% of the female population, Black women and girls accounted for nearly 34.6 of the 300,000 missing women in 2020 goddamned one. Are you still grinning, Negroes? Are you hoping to make a place here in America, Negroes? Do you feel welcome, Negroes? Do you feel safe, Negroes? This kind of avarice toward us, this kind of disregard for the lives of our women, the taking and snatching them off the streets with no clue, they just vanish. We know what they're after. They're after that HELOC gene. They're after that gene that doesn't die. They're after that cell that continues to multiply. And they're taking our women at a phenomenal pace. And how dare any of you have a goddamned grin on your face? Next! Don't drop your phones, folks. It's getting better. All right, here we go. Light and airy, what the hell is this about? What in God? Tupac's iconic ring and love letter make history at Sotheby's auction? What? First, we know who had the letter. What, the chick trying to make $1? What did Will Smith leave it? What? She ain't got no money now? I hope it wasn't, I really hope it wasn't her that sold it. Sotheby's recently hip-hop artifacts auction achieved groundbreaking milestones with the sale of two deeply significant items from the legendary rapper Tupac Shakur. The iconic gold, ruby, diamond crown ring designed and worn by Tupac himself shattered records as the most expensive hip-hop artifact ever to be auctioned, featuring an astonishing $1 million. One of his letters sold for $5,000. So that ring sold for $1 million. Now who's gonna wear it? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with the ring? What are you gonna do with the ring? You got it, there it is, gaudy. Indicative of the problem. A symbol of what took him out in the first place, being this, and it sold for $1 million to possess negrosity at such high caliber. Fuck out of my face. Anyway, I mean, oh Lord, what are they gonna do next? Next! This is something I knew. There is no silver lining in slavery. Tim Scott, we don't need you to talk for us either. I'm sorry, you're right up there with Kamala. But at least he said it. No, there was no. So here's the thing I have with this whole we got educated and you gave us skills and shit. Let me tell you something. Negroes came here with skills, you illiterate cave beasts. Now, let me just say this. As you crawled from beneath the Caucasus Mountains, fucking your own animals with no names, you came out of that circumstance with no skills as well. and to claim that the Negroes that you enslaved are of the same likelihood, well, let me tell you, you can take that notion and go to hell. The reason these people had to start all these different collective bargaining edifices is because Negroes were released from slavery with more skills than white men. So they unionized in order to keep black men from getting jobs, even though they were less skilled. So somebody tell Ron DeSantis to take the notion that Negroes learned something while being enslaved by these abhorrently vile European demons. Take that notion and shove it up your Italian ass. Thank you. Yeah, I'm on one. Next. All right. What is this? I don't need this. The documentary traces history of policing the black community from slavery through the present day. And look who they got doing it. Look who they got delivering the news. Do you know what his wife just did to him? I won't even talk about it. I'm just gonna go ahead and all right. Days after the fatal police shooting of Amar and Locke last February, community activists gathered at the Minneapolis City Hall in protest. We're here for Amir Locke. The question that I have is, how many more? Said Rod Adams, a community organizer who spoke at the event. 7 years from Jamar Clark, we're 18 months from George Floyd, and now we're standing here dealing with another murder of a young black man. This is the documentary on Hulu. See, I need you to understand, folks, they take great pride in the murderous activity that they apply to Negroes. They claim that we should be grateful while they go insane and act hateful. It's a very interesting dynamic. It's dichotomous in its nature, you know? I just don't understand how we can equal this relationship without separating. We must get the fuck away from these people. No good has come from our association with our enslavers. I don't know how many times, how can I say that in any better way? What do you think they have in mind? Your best interests? What are we fooling ourselves? Do we think they're going to change? They're not going to change. They become the same racist, white nationalist that they were when they were Huns in the early 1800s, when they were Nazis. I mean, fascist, Nazi-like behavior seems to stem from the same peoples. Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis, Italians and Germans. I'm gonna say it right out. I don't understand why no one else voices it. That's who's terrorizing the world. Okay, I drift. Next, I'm almost done, relax. So this was new. Trump campaign blast DA in Georgia says that her father has ties to the Black Panther Party. Well, you know, Trump, I don't know that you should just, was that comfort you? Would you think you should feel good saying that? Was you exposing something? If her father does have ties to the Black Panther, boy, you're gonna have a problem. You better hope that's not true, dumbass. This kind of dog whistle to his crowd, to Donald Trump's crowd of right-wing white nationalists, neo-Nazis in the making, a horde of them being created, being led by Marjorie Taylor Greene, Paul Gosar. I mean, these are abhorrently vile, wicked, just pieces of human goddamned waste. That's all there is to it. Look at what's coming out of their goddamned mouths. They foment as much racist hate as they need to stay out of prison. And I, for one, have had enough. I'm done. I'm done, and I'm not ready to run. Next. We're going to get through it. Don't worry about it, folks. Oh, well now. So the Steens, the Steins, all of these individuals, they seem to be just have their little prickly little fingers and all the disease and all the things that are just, ill, right? Lawsuit alleges billionaire Leon Black raped autistic teen at Epstein's townhouse. This Jeffrey, this, look at this. Look at this. This is what we're dealing with. These people call themselves good. Leo Black, co-founded the investment firm Apollo Global Management. Just to let you know, Leo Black, that's a Jewish name. Don't get it twisted. Federal lawsuit filed Tuesday accuses billionaire Leon Black of raping a 16-year-old girl with Down syndrome and autism in 2002 at the Manhattan townhouse of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Yes, that fucking happened. That happened. That white man did that. That's right. I'm going to tell him to his face. This is who they worship now. Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein raped a 13-year-old girl. This is what happened. Donald Trump is a child rapist, not accused. He is. And so the people that associate with him seem to have the same types of proclivities towards children. And this is who they want running their goddamn country. These are the people they give millions of dollars to in investments. People that are later accused, more likely found guilty of raping children. And all of them seem to have the same goddamned last names, inferring the same goddamned synagogue of Satan. Epstein. Dear God. The creator called it, they're a synagogue of Satan. I'll say it to their faces. It's the reason I don't hold a grin in public places. Next! All right, we're almost done. Everybody relax. Just wanted to get this out. Huckabee Sanders, already got that. Boom. So, let me see here. This one will be the last one. I know you guys are glad to hear it, but this one is pretty good. Philadelphia Zoo names first Black woman as president and CEO. First, let me tell you, she light-skinned. Mother's a sister, but she just light enough for you to make a president. Let's get real. Good. But let's get into this. First female and African-American president and chief executive officer of the nation's first zoo. So she's going to be the 15th president in the institution's 164 goddamn year history. And you really think that I'm supposed to be overjoyed after 164 fucking years, you decide to put a Black person in charge of your zoo? Well, what did goddamn do for you and your fucking zoo? Fucking kibbles and bits of bullshit that these people exhibit. Just, I'm at my limit. All right, well, there you go, folks. The No C Doug Rice Show. I'm loud, I know it. I can do the show like this. I get a little bit more crazy, less inhibited. But I appreciate your attention. And while I'm at it, why I mention, might as well. Hey, don't forget, please, support this effort, please, guys. PDFs, they can be rare to find. And some of these hundreds of pages, extremely valuable information. And I got to tell you, folks, that PDFs are books that are not available in print, usually. And if they are available, they cost just an exorbitant amount of money. So please, if you like what we do here, Detrina, Antoine, myself, here at the Doug Rice Show, please take a look, stop here, take a look at what I have. And again, this is not all of them. We have well over 100 different PDFs. We're going to add to them. The PDFs that are in Israel or in the language, in the Jewish language, you got to take your shot. I don't know what they are. I'll try to get them. But also how to speak Hebrew. There are some cookbooks involved. Israeli history. You definitely need to keep an eye on the imposters and all they've done. So remember that's the price sheet, if you will. That is the price sheet. So focus on that. If you want one PDF to 4, it's $1. Above 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. I'm just kidding. It just goes incrementally, 25 cents. So, you're not really, you're not getting ripped off. I think we're going to give you some good stuff. And hey, that's how we do this. I appreciate the love. All right. Okay. That is what I have today for the second show. I like the camera off. I do. It's pretty good feeling. I'm a little bit more open, but I gotta go. I gave you the news. I gave you an opportunity to please show your support for this show. Listen, I want to do this every day and just talk so that you hear what I say. That's about it. All right, guys, I'm gonna be leaving, but not before I do at least tell you this. Listen, it's gonna get worse. Their attitude is gonna get worse. How they look upon you is gonna get worse, much more judgmental. They are looking for the next chair to come down upon their heads. Oh, yes. Yes, brothers and sisters, you heard what I said. They are nervous as cats now in rocking chair facilities. And, if given the chance, they have the ability to put it down on Negroes if found slipping. I mean, you know how it goes. So don't be an inviting kind of Negro. Don't be open and warm and just don't do that. I mean, seriously, play it, play it under your hat. Keep it there, okay? Because, no one is trying to get on their good graces. But do me a favor. Get that goddamned grin off your faces. All right, folks, I gotta go. Y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Please support this effort. There's the price list. Bye-bye now.